Some artists' voices are not just heard, they are felt. They rise from struggle, carry the weight of truth, and echo across generations. Oumou Sangaré did not choose music. Music chose her. Born in the heart of Mali, raised in the cradle of Wasulu tradition, she carried the sound of her ancestors in her soul. But hers was not just a journey of music, it was a fight. She grew up watching the pain of women in silence, poverty, polygamy, abandonment. She lived it all before she ever stepped into a stage. But instead of breaking her, it ignited her courage. She was told to stay quiet. She refused. She was told tradition could not change. She proved it could change. With a voice as raw as truth and as powerful as the storm, she turned her pain into poetry and her music into a weapon of empowerment. She sang not for fame, but for freedom, not for applause, but for justice. From the streets of Bamako to the biggest stages in the world, she became a symbol, a warrior of women, a daughter of Africa. Her songs became an anthem. Her courage became a movement. Her legacy became eternal. This is a story of a woman who refused to be silenced, a voice that challenged tradition without losing identity. A daughter who carried Mali to the world and brought the world back to Mali. This is the life and legacy of Oumou Sangaré, the Lioness of Wasulu. Oumou Sangaré was not born into comfort, nor was her voice discovered under the bright lights of a studio. Her story began on February 25, 1968, in Bamako, Mali, in a world where women's future was expected to be quiet, submissive and controlled. But Oumou was never born to be ordinary. She came from the Wasulu region, a part of Mali rich in ancient music traditions, known for its haunting songs, Croyd's storytelling, and powerful women singers who passed down history through melody. Music surrounded her from birth, not as entertainment, but as a way of life, a spiritual inheritance. Her father, Bamba Sangaré, abandoned the family when Oumou was just 2 years old, leaving her mother, Aminata Diakité, alone to raise 6 children. Life became a daily struggle. Poverty was not an abstract idea. It was the reality of going hungry, watching her mother walk endlessly, and knowing there was no safety net. But Aminata had a gift. She was a singer, one who used music to survive, singing at weddings and celebrations to feed her children. Young Oumou would stand beside her, absorbing every rhythm, every lyric, and every truth about life and human struggles that music carried. By the age of 5, Oumou had already discovered something extraordinary inside her. The kind of voice that grabs attention and makes people stop what they're doing. So she sang naturally with no training, no education in music, just raw emotions and instincts. But her childhood was not a joyful rise to stardom. It was shaped by responsibility far beyond her years. When she turned 10, she was forced to leave school to help her mother earn money through music. Childhood dreams were not a luxury she could afford. Her first real taste of stage came at age 11, when she joined a music group touring with Joliba National Ballet of Mali. Far from home, surrounded by older music icons and dancers, she quickly proved she was not just another child performer. She had presence, confidence, and fire. But she also learned a hard truth. Being talented was not enough. In a world controlled by men and tradition, a young girl who speaks her mind is seen as a problem. Even as a child, Oumou began to question things others accepted. Why should girls be married off young? Why should women suffer alone? Why did men abandon families without consequences? These questions stayed inside her, waiting for the day she would release them, not as a speech, but as a song. By the time she returned to Bamako as a teenager, she was no longer just a girl with a beautiful voice. She had become something far more dangerous, a voice with purpose. As Oumou Sangaré entered her teenage years, she was no longer just a child with a voice. She was a rising force in her community. People didn't just listen to her sing. They felt her. They heard her pain, strength, survival, and truth in her voice. Her songs did not come from musical theory or formal training. They came from real life, from nights of hunger, from watching her mother carry sorrows in silence, from witnessing how society treated women like they were not worth of dreams. But inside Oumou's, dreams were alive, loud and unstoppable. At just 13 years old, Oumou joined a traditional music group led by Joliba Percussion. It was her first experience performing outside of the streets, and suddenly, people took notice. She wasn't just talented, she was unique. Her voice carried something rare, fearless honesty. In a culture where young girls were expected to stay quiet, Oumou sang boldly. She sang like someone who had something urgent to say. At 16, everything changed. She was invited on tour to Europe with the percussion group. Many artists wait a lifetime for such an opportunity, but for Oumou, it came early and she was ready. She performed in France, one of the biggest cultural stages in the world. Malik Sidibe, a Malian promoter in Paris, noticed her and knew instantly this was not a normal singer. This was a star waiting to explode. But success did not come without sacrifices. When Oumou returned home to Mali, she faced harsh criticisms. Some people said she was too outspoken. Others believed it was shameful for a young woman to sing publicly. In a society rooted in tradition, she was pushing boundaries, and not everyone liked it. Some even tried to shame her for singing instead of marrying early like many expected. But Oumou didn't listen. She remembered her mother's pain and made a promise to herself. Her life would be different. She would not bow to silence. At age 21, Oumou signed with World Circuit Records, the same legendary label that worked with stars like Ali Farka Touré. This was her moment. She entered the studio to record her first album, not knowing it would change African music forever. In 1991, Oumou released Wasulu, meaning women, in Bambara. The album didn't just launch her career, it shook an entire continent. The song spoke directly to real issues African women face: polygamy, forced marriage, domestic struggle, family abandonment. These were topics most singers were too afraid to mention, but Oumou sang about them openly, without fear, without apology. Her lyrics didn't ask for sympathy, they demanded respect. Women across Africa cried when they heard her songs. They felt seen for the first time. Young girls wrote her letters saying she gave them courage. Men debated her message. Governments tried to mute her, but no one could stop her. Wasulu became one of the best-selling albums in African history. In Mali, it sold more than 250,000 copies, a record-breaking number for the time. Suddenly, Oumou Sangaré was not just a singer, she was a symbol of strength. She had survived poverty, ignored fear, and now stood as the voice of African women. And this was only the beginning. Oumou Sangaré's music was never just entertainment. It was a message. a call to action, and a reflection of African women's realities. From the moment Wasulu captured hearts across Mali and beyond, she became a voice for the voiceless. Her lyrics addressed issues that were often ignored or considered taboo. Examples like child marriage, polygamy, gender inequality, and women's rights. But she didn't sing with anger or preaching. Her songs combined melody with meaning, rapping serious social commentary in irresistible rhythms that made people listen, dance, and think at the same time. Her style, rooted in Wasulu tradition, brought a modern energy to ancient rhythms. With instruments like the kamalengoni, which is a traditional harp, djembe, and a calabash percussion, she created music that was deeply African, yet globally appealing. Her voice carried not only emotions but authority, as though she were narrating the stories of every woman in Mali. Songs like Musulu and Tie Ni Musu became anthems for empowerment, earning her the title the Lioness of Wasulu. As her reputation grew, Oumou began performing internationally, representing African women on global stages. She sang at venues across Europe, North America, and Asia, spreading her message far beyond Mali. Each performance was more than music. It was an act of activism. Audiences cheered not only for her talent, but also for the courage it took to sing truth that many in her society feared. Her activism through music also earned recognitions in international forums. She became a symbol of female empowerment in Africa, and organizations focused on women's rights frequently invited her to speak, perform, or advise. She demonstrated that music could influence culture, policy, and social attitudes. Unlike many pop stars, Oumou never separated her artistry from her message. Her life and her music were one seamless instrument for change. And Oumou's voice also helped preserve cultural heritage. In a time when modern and Western music began dominating African airways, she championed traditional Malian sound and language, showing that African music could remain authentic while achieving global appeal. Her songs taught younger generations about Wasulu customs, stories, and female wisdom, ensuring that Mali's heritage remained alive on international stage. By combining activism, cultural pride, and music genius, Oumou Sangaré transformed herself into more than a musician. She became a movement. Women across Africa saw her as a role model, a protector of tradition that respected women. Oumou's rise as a voice for women set the stage for her global recognition and collaborations with international artists, showing that African female voices could lead, inspire, and transform the world. Oumou Sangaré's rise from the heart of Mali to the global stages was not just a musical journey, it was a cultural awakening. In the early 1990s, her groundbreaking album titled Kosira in 1993 and Worotan in 1996 carried the traditional sound of Wasulu music into international audiences. Her music blended ancient storytelling with modern emotional depth, and even those who did not understand her Bambara lyrics were deeply moved by her voice. She sang about marriage, inequality, women's struggles, social justice, and human dignity. She didn't just chase trends or commercial fame, she stayed rooted in truth. Her voice became a movement, earning her respect not just as an artist, but as a fearless African woman who used music to challenge oppressive systems. As her influence spread, collaborations with music legends and icons followed. She worked with legendary African musicians such as Ali Fakar Touré, Salif Keita, Babama, Femi Kuti, and Tony Allen, as well as Grammy-winning jazz vocalist Didi Bridgewater. On every stage, from Paris to New York, From London to Dakar, Oumou carried the sound of Mali with power and dignity. She wasn't influenced by Western pressure to change her sound. Instead, she brought African rhythms to the world. Critics hailed her as the voice of the voiceless, and international audiences rose in standing ovation whenever she performed. Her music soon crossed into mainstream pop culture when major American artists embraced her voice. In 2019, Beyoncé and Jay-Z sampled Oumou's vocals from her song Jarabi Nene in the track Mood Forever of the Lion King The Gift album, introducing her to millions of new listeners worldwide. Shortly after that, Alicia Keys invited her to collaborate and praised her as one of the most extraordinary voices in the world. Oumou also appeared on Herbie Hancock's Imagine project, collaborated with Damien Albarn on African Express, and worked with international producers while always remaining authentically African. From Afrobeats to jazz to global fusion, she stood as a bridge between continents. Her global recognition reached a new peak with multiple honors, including Grammy Award nomination in the Best World Music Album category. In 2021, she won the Grammy Award for her contribution to The Lion King The Gift Deluxe, marking a major moment not just for her, but for Malian music and African heritage worldwide. She also received the UNESCO International Music Prize and was appointed a Goodwill Ambassador for the Food and Agriculture Organization. Despite international fame, Oumou stayed grounded, remaining a defender of women's rights, a cultural icon of Africa, and a voice that continues to sing for justice, freedom, and love. Oumou Sangaré is not only a musical icon, but also a savvy businesswoman and a philanthropist, demonstrating that influence can extend far beyond the stage. From early in her career, she understood the importance of controlling her brand and using her resources to uplift others. She founded her own record label and management company, ensuring that her music, message, and cultural legacy remain entirely under her guidance. By doing so, she set a precedent for African artists, especially women, showing that success is not just about talent, it's about ownership, vision, and leadership. Beyond her music business, Oumou has invested heavily in initiatives that empower African women. She has funded women's cooperatives, enabled women in Mali to earn income through agriculture, textile, and local craft. Her commitment to entrepreneurship for women reflects the same theme that permeates her music: independence, resilience, and dignity. She has repeatedly emphasized that economic freedom is as vital as social and political freedom, and she uses her platform to advocate for holistic empowerment. Oumou's philanthropy also extends to education and health. She has sponsored schools, provided scholarships, and supported programs that give young girls access to education, an opportunity she herself was denied as a child. Her foundation organizes workshops on women's rights, literacy, and vocational skills, ensuring that her influence touches the lives of ordinary citizens, not just her global fans. Through her charity works, Oumou has become a catalyst for systemic change, translating her message of empowerment into tangible actions. Her entrepreneurial mindset extends to her artistic ventures as well. Oumou has built partnerships with fashion designers, promoting traditional Malian fabrics and costumes in her performances. She combines music and culture to create experiences that are immersive, authentic, and economically beneficial for local communities. By doing so, she elevated Wasulu heritage into a globally recognized cultural brand, proving that African music, fashion, and tradition can coexist as thriving industries. Even as she grew internationally renowned, Oumou remained grounded. She continued to live in Mali, balancing her global fame with a deep connection to her community. She embodies a rare combination of celebrity, activist, and business leader, showing that success does not have to be selfish. It can be shared, multiplied, and used to build a better society. A lot of people will ask, what's her legacy? Her legacy is immense, spanning decades of music, activism, and cultural preservation. She has become more than a singer. She is a symbol of African pride, female empowerment, and artistic authenticity. Her influence has shaped generations of artists, especially African women, who see in her a model for combining talent with courage and purpose. Young singers across Mali, West Africa, and the globe often cite Oumou as their inspiration, striving to emulate her ability to balance tradition with modernity, social advocacy with artistry, and fame with humility. Her music remains timeless. Albums like Wasulu, Kosira, Worotan continue to resonate with audiences, their messages as relevant today as they were decades ago. Through her songs, she preserved the Wasulu heritage, introducing younger generations to traditional rhythms, instruments, and languages that might otherwise fade in the face of globalization. Each performance is a reminder that African culture is vibrant, adaptable, and deserving of global recognition. Beyond music, her advocacy works has created a lasting impact. Oumou's campaign for women's rights, education, and economic independence have changed countless lives, and her philanthropy efforts ensures that her influence continues beyond the stage. She demonstrates that true artistry is not only by albums sold or awards won, but by positive change it inspires in the world. Through her foundation, her mentorship, and her public presence, she has built a model of socially conscious artistry that is rare in this era. Her collaboration with international artists have also ensured that her cultural message reaches the widest possible audience. By performing on stages around the world, she has shown that African women are not only capable of leadership, but also of global relevance. In this way, her legacy is not only personal, it is collective, extending across countries, continents, and generations. Looking at the future, Oumou continues to innovate. She mentors young musicians, supports cultural preservation projects, and remains active in social advocacy. Her life demonstrates that success and responsibility are intertwined. Oumou Sangaré is far from over. Her songs, her activism, and her presence in the world ensure that her influence will continue to shape African music, culture, and social progress for years to come. She's not only the Lioness of Wasulu, she's a living legend, a bridge between tradition and modernity, and a voice that will echo long after her final performance. Oumou Sangaré's journey proves that music can be more than entertainment. It can be a weapon, a shield, and a platform for change. From her humble beginnings in Bamako, she rose to become a global icon, a symbol of female empowerment, and a guardian of African culture. She has shown the world that courage and creativity, when combined, can transform societies, inspire generations, and redefine possibilities. Her legacy is not confined to her albums, awards, or international acclaim. It lives in the lives she has touched, the women she has empowered, the cultural traditions she has preserved, and the global audience she has educated about African richness and complexity. Oumou Sangaré reminds us that one voice, one vision, and one commitment to truth can resonate far beyond borders, transcending generations and time itself. As the Lioness of Wasulu continues her journey, her music, message, and spirit will remain immortal. She is not only a reflection of Mali's heart and soul, but a testament to the enduring power of African women. And for every note she sings, She reminds the world that courage, culture, and convictions are timeless. If you like content like this, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next.